their cars, in their campsites. Welcome to everybody. And here at the Joy Lutheran Church, I can see some of our community supporters. Our volunteers are here, our amazing board members, our awesome staff, and some of our sponsors are here as well. Thank you for being here. Let's also welcome Megan Powell-Filler, our Executive Director, who will serve as our co-host this evening.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining our event tonight. I hope that you will gain some insight into why we are here for Sleep Out for Shelter, and we have some videos that'll hopefully portray it and some interesting information for you. So please sit back and enjoy.
Thank you, Megan. We are here this evening, this Saturday evening, for an issue that is close to our hearts, for an issue that concerns us, an issue that connects us, homelessness. And this homelessness event, this Sleep Out event, is not something that we would like to replicate homelessness, but will give you an insight on the challenges that are faced by those who are facing homelessness and sleeping rough and tough. And what better night to show our support to this event and to P.A.D.S than tonight, when we walk in the shoes of those who are struggling with homelessness, when we sleep in the elements and feel and have a glimpse of what it is to be homeless every night. At this point, we'd like to show a short video of our staff, our dedicated staff, who is second to none in giving our services to the people that we serve. This video was created during the pandemic, but the message that was sent and is being sent right now is the same deep message that is full of compassion, belief, and commitment to the mission and work that we do.
I love working with all the staff that we have and watching them grow and try to teach them what I initially started learning about working with our homeless clients, moving them into permanent supportive housing. I really found a passion in that, and then so to be able for me to express that to staff and try to teach them and train them in the best way possible has really been one of the greatest benefits too of working with the agency.
My favorite part about my job is being able to witness clients getting housed for the first time. Being able to be a part of that moment is such a rewarding and remarkable feeling. It's something that a lot of people take for granted, something so easy as being able to have a place called your home.
I like being a part of the hard questions we have to answer at P.A.D.S, and that mixes in with the diversity of the staff. You know, what's fundamental to being a person? What are people going to do to try to survive? What are people going to do to try to fit in? Where are the lines that we have to draw when we're providing services? There are very difficult questions.
The thing about working at P.A.D.S is that no day is the same as the previous day. There's always something I'm learning. I'm always learning something new about working with our population. And it's very rewarding to be able to provide somebody a little piece of comfort during such a tumultuous time.
I oversee the day-to-day operations of our shelter. So typically on a normal year that would be the rotating shelter sites, but since COVID hit, that has turned into our hotels. So we have 3 hotels right now in Waukegan and Mundelein that we are overseeing. And I'm also managing the relationships between P.A.D.S and the hotels.
So in the middle of March, when COVID hit and we had to shelter in place by the governor's orders, a lot of our services had to change. Our rotating site partners were unable to continue being able to provide that emergency overnight shelter, so we had to pivot quickly, and within a week we had to kind of find alternative overnight arrangements. So working with our community partners was huge. Warren Township stepped up and we were able to find a 24/7 building that we could use as an emergency shelter. We put most of our vulnerable population right into hotels. We were able to do that with a lot of the community support right away. They really came to us with the funding that we needed to be able to provide them, our clients, with hotel stays in order to keep them out of that congregate setting, which is very high risk. So right away in the beginning, within 2 weeks, we had a different 24/7 shelter, along with a majority of our clients moving into hotels. This drastically changed the services that we had been providing, and it moved all of our sites, well, all of our services into the hotels. So case managers had to work off site now. We have limited services at our day resource center in order to keep everybody safe, staff, donors, volunteers, clients. So since then, we have been very lucky to be able to continue providing that overnight hotel shelter for the clients to keep them out of the congregate settings all the way through our next season.
So what really makes me feel hopeful is the generous support of the community and just some of the volunteers that have taken time out of their pandemic lives to help make a fabric mask for not only the clients but also our staff to be able to utilize and have. And it just is such kind work, and it's so wonderful to see that there's still a lot of good in the world when we can have we've been having some pretty challenging times. So the good in the world is what really provides me a lot of hope. And then to kind of get a sense to help provide that hope to our clients is really what I look forward to and why I work here.
So I'm very hopeful about our clients. We have a wonderful community that's supporting us with food, with logistics, with a lot of other things. The community has come together to help us out, to think about our clients and help us in any way possible. And thank you so much for being here tonight and supporting our organization with all that you can.
This gives the community an opportunity to see what the homeless problem and how bad the homeless problem is in Lake County. And we strive to reach the point where we have no homeless people, only people in transition from not having a place to live to having a place to live, and not struggling for months at a time living in shelters. And that's my hope for the success of P.A.D.S and the future of homelessness in Lake County.
You know, what should you do for someone who just hasn't been dealt the same set of cards you have? What's your obligation to that person? People have many different opinions about that, and we don't judge, but we want to help them up.
I'd like to thank everyone who participated in this event for their time and kindness. Please have a good night.
So, thank you everybody at home or wherever you're at enjoying the gala for what you've contributed and what you will continue to contribute today and tomorrow and in the future. Thank you.
With or without the pandemic, our team continues to work very hard to ensure that everyone in our community has a safe place to stay and have the resources they need to find a way home. Every day we are ready to do this, and we do. And this is because of all of you. What remains constant and unshaken is the power of our collaborative, the power of our efforts. Your generosity allows us to be there every day for the clients that come to our door. At this point, I'd like to call on Kevin Woodside, our board member, who would say a few words.
Thank you, Clarice. Thank you, everybody that's joining us here, either at Joy Lutheran or online, and enduring through our technical challenges. This is real life happening. So just thank you so much for all of your support, whether it's as a volunteer or as a sponsor or as a donor or however it is that you support P.A.D.S. On behalf of the board of directors, I just want to say thank you. It matters. You're making a difference on such an incredibly important issue. So thank you for your support.
Thank you, Kevin. And at this point, we would like to show you a short PowerPoint presentation where Megan, our Executive Director, will walk us through our critical services and our programs and it will show how your support creates a transformative impact in the lives of those we serve.
Hello and welcome to SleepOut for Shelter. I am grateful for everyone who is able to be in person and virtual today to support our mission of ensuring homelessness is rare, brief, and non-recurring. We have been holding this event in different formats since 2013. The purpose of SleepOut for Shelter is to promote awareness of homelessness and attempting to walk in their shoes by sleeping outside in tents, in the open under the stars, or in vehicles. We hope you have an engaging night and learn more about the agency, staff, and who we serve during this event. I want to start by first thanking our sponsors, First Bank of Chicago. P.A.D.S. Lake County is a community-based organization that provides trauma-informed support, resources, and shelter to individuals and families experiencing a housing crisis. We envision a community in which homelessness is rare, brief, and non-recurring, one in which anyone who may experience a housing crisis has timely access to the proper resources and services based on their individual need. We help the people we serve navigate the complicated and complex social service system to lead them to safe housing solutions. Let's start by reducing the stigma of homelessness and change the narrative. There are many reasons why people fall into homelessness, and only a small percentage of them are due to mental health or addiction issues. This slide portrays negative words and labels people experiencing a housing crisis are associated with. When people start identifying themselves as a homeless person, as well as these labels, it becomes harder to lift themselves up out of homelessness and into a life they want to lead. In addition to these words, there are racial disparities that have been brought to the forefront of the conversations over the last 2 years. This is not new information for those of us who work with people experiencing homelessness or housing insecurity. We see the additional barriers people of color have coming through our doors, which makes it even more difficult to move them out of their current housing crisis into safe, stable, affordable housing. A lack of acceptance for communities to embrace affordable housing, which would allow client choice throughout the entire county and not just focused on lower income areas that have more affordable housing options, even though that is still not sufficient. There continues to be barriers for our clients to pull themselves up due to landlords asking for 3 times the amount of income a client makes before signing a lease, as well as not accepting anyone with any kind of criminal background. Black individuals and families make up only 13% of the U.S. population, but account for nearly 40% of individuals experiencing homelessness. Currently, Black persons make up approximately 10% of the Lake County population according to the 2010 census, but account for 65% of our client population we have served over this past fiscal year until now. Changing these realities is going to take great systematic changes, and we are working every day to do our part to bridge these tremendous racial inequalities in our community. As you all know, since 2020, the collective trauma that we experienced will connect us forever moving forward. The pandemic highlighted the health and economic disparities in our system, putting a spotlight on the economically disadvantaged. It also pointed out how fragile our shelter system is due to the congregate setting we had been operating under for over 30 years. The safety that our shelter system had provided night by night was one of the highest risk factors in contracting COVID. We swiftly moved from congregated settings with our church partners to individual accommodations in hotels. We were able to do this with the overwhelming generosity of our community and government assistance to sustain the accommodations and continue to do so. We have many programs beyond shelter that we offer to anyone who is in need. At our Day Resource Center, we provide supportive services through our case managers who identify and address barriers to housing. Our prevention and diversion program ensures individuals and families are not entering into homelessness by providing conflict resolution skills, mediation, and small financial assistance. Our research outreach program meets with anyone who is living on the streets, abandoned buildings, and in their cars to begin engaging with them and building rapport. The team attempts to bring them into emergency shelter in order to provide a safer environment than living on the streets. Our supportive housing program serves 26 individuals who have experienced long-term homelessness, have a disability, and require supportive services to remain successfully housed. And finally, our emergency shelter program, which continues to change with the needs and safety of persons we serve. This year, we continued with individual accommodations through our hotel shelter, as well as a smaller version of our rotating sites. We continued to maintain direct contact with persons who needed our services following all CDC guidelines. We also continue to work with community agencies to connect clients to housing and employment options. Over the past year, we have provided services to a number of individuals and families, which is demonstrated in this visual slide. 310 people have moved into permanent housing. Over 687 people received overnight shelter. 106 families received overnight hotel accommodations, which included 178 children. 580 people were able to remain in their current housing situation and stay out of shelter, and 89 people were connected with outreach with services and moved into either shelter or directly into housing. We continue to work with community agencies to connect clients to housing options. We do not know what this next year will bring, and we continue to assess our services, focusing on the needs of the clients, staff, and community. Over the past couple of years, we have shown that we are flexible and strong enough to pivot quickly. P.A.D.S has been and is continuing to work collaboratively with multiple agencies throughout the community in order to bring awareness to the disparities and break down barriers in order to help serve our clients better. This is not easy and is often frustrating work, which is why I know I work with the best group of people because of their passion to serve clients and make a change. With this dedication, I know we will be instrumental in leading the way to reducing the amount of time persons experiencing a housing crisis will need to use emergency shelter. By helping to keep people remain in their current housed location, we eliminate the need for emergency shelter, therefore reducing the trauma that is experienced for that individual or family. Outreach is imperative to provide services to persons who do not want to come in for traditional engagement, as well as ensuring they still have access to housing options. Without supporters and volunteers like you, what we have accomplished and who we help would not be possible. There also continues to be more of a need than what we are able to provide as a single agency, which is why we need to continue to spread awareness and be part of the solution to systemic failures that are beyond our control. Please reach out to us to see how you can be part of the solution. And before wrapping up, I want to thank all of our sponsors in this event and their continued support.
Thank you, Megan. At this point, we'd like to show you a video highlighting one of our clients' journeys as he struggled and navigated through homelessness.
The fresh air, the wind at your face, the adventure, biking made it feel where I could just be free, me and my bike on the road. I'm Craig and this is my story. Winding up homeless was not something that anyone ever asks for. When you're homeless, you're not wanted. You can't go to a gas station to use the restroom. They don't want you there. They don't want you hanging by the side of the building. You know, they look at you at the worst possible way a person could be. I was sleeping underneath a plastic slide, trying to stay warm at night, shivering with a tarp and a sleeping bag. The lady, her name was Lisa, she lived next to the park, had been noticing me the past 4 days. She had brought up to my attention that there was a program called P.A.D.S in Waukegan, and that they'd help homeless people with shelter. You don't meet people like that too often, especially being homeless. They'd want to turn their back on you, look the other way, and act like you're not there. It's pretty demeaning. The caseworker that I had understood my situation, was very compassionate.
Craig was just different. This guy has never experienced homelessness ever in his life. He was a hard worker, paying his rent, and just being a typical person.
I was a journalist, and the journalism career was kind of dwindling down. People aren't buying newspapers and magazines anymore, and I had to close a family company magazine. When you don't have income in, you can't pay the bills, you can't pay rent. Through the P.A.D.S program, I was able to show enough income off of unemployment to getting able to what they call a housing voucher. Every day there's just a different obstacle that may come about, that a phone call or a stop in to the motel. Latasha was there just to keep my spirits up.
I was just able to assure him that everything was going to be okay. Don't stop, keep trying, encouraging him, just trying to be there every step of the way. If it's I can transport you to look at the apartment, if I can provide you with bus passes, if I can look on the internet and find apartments for you myself and give you the leads, and you do the footwork, anything that I could do to get this man out of homelessness, I was willing to do. After Craig moved into his apartment, he decided that he was going to look into taking some online classes. So he's working on that right now, and once he completes that, hopefully he'll gain employment somewhere within the county, and he'll be a COVID-19 tracer for the county.
Every person in the P.A.D.S organization that I came in contact with treated me as a human being. It's a program that builds your self-esteem, gives you a place to stay, and provides you mental support that is so much needed when you're homeless. If you're homeless, never be afraid to ask for help.
Craig's story is one of many. It is a story of hope, of love, and resilience, and also the positive outcomes when you and I, people like us, show that we care and that we are here to support them. So we thank Craig for sharing his story with us. At this point, my dear friends, we may be having an enjoyable night tonight, having these great skies around these beautiful gardens. But I'd like you to think of our neighbors who are out there, who do not have the options, who do not have the choices, where they could sleep tonight, where they could rest, find warmth and safety. And after you do that, thank yourselves, pat yourselves in the back, because by being here, by supporting P.A.D.S, you are already providing them options and some choices so that they have a pathway back home. And today, we thank all of you for being with us here tonight, just sharing the journeys of the clients that we serve. And at this point, we would like to call on Shelley, our board member, who will help us draw the raffles of our prizes. We have great prizes, but before we do that, I'd like to give a big shout out to our top fundraisers for the evening. One of them is here, Rose Peck, and there is also Kyle Filler, who is here, Julie, who is doing a virtual event, as well as 5 others that are also on virtual. So let's give them a big round of applause. Just to tell you, Rose Peck, she raised more than $2,000. Yay, Rose! And so let's now call in Shelley, who will draw the 5 prizes for the prizes that we are going to give. And they are very, very cool prizes. For the first drawing, for the Apple AirPods, our raffle prize winner is Kristen Pitak. Yay! For the Yeti Tundra 35 goes to Shelley Majewski.
Thank you.
For the Solo Stove Bonfire, the lucky winner is Rose Peck. Yay! Rose, congratulations. And then we have the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, very cool prize. Ken Leckman.
Oh, Kenneth? Oh.
Yeah, Ken Leckman. He's not here, but he will claim his prize. And last but not least, the Apple AirPods Max. It is Rose Peck. Congratulations to all our winners. We will get in touch with you on how we will coordinate giving you your prizes. And now we'd like to turn over the microphone to Megan, our executive director, who will say very important words.
I just want to say thank you to everyone tonight for participating and for everybody who's here. And your patience with our technical difficulties. These last 2 years continue to give us a little pivotal moments that we have to continue pivoting and just being patient with technology as we learn through them. So I wanted to say thank you also to Joy Lutheran Church, who did give us this amazing space to be able to do this, and then SleepOut in their backyard for tonight, and for your Sisters Tomato, who provided amazing pizza that we have plenty of. So if anybody still wants to come out here and enjoy some pizza, you are more than welcome to. And then also join us for some games. We're going to hopefully watch a video if technology doesn't fail us again. And really just learn more about our services. So if you do want to know any more about our services, if you do need us, please visit our website, padslakcounty.org. If you want to contact us, please email us at info@padslakcounty.org. And have a wonderful night. And again, thank you for participating. And we look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Thank you.